Stephanie Domerat with your weekly recap. Thanks for watching. We will be catching you up on some of the biggest stories of the week, including the latest major investment into Intel, one of Oregon's largest employers. Plus, amid tensions between protesters and law enforcement at the local ICE facility, the city of Portland accused the building of several violations, and how a Hollywood celebrity made good on his promise to a local typewriter shop. But we begin with big news for Intel. The company's share prices jumped Thursday after news broke it's getting billions of dollars in investment from NVIDIA. Now, the California-based computer chip maker is the most valuable publicly traded company in the world. NVIDIA said the $5 billion investment, the two will jointly develop AI infrastructure and computing products. Experts see this as a huge win for Intel, which has fallen behind in the artificial intelligence race. That's led to thousands of job cuts over the past few months. NVIDIA, which specializes in a type of computer chip that works well with AI, has been on a hot streak that has increased its stock price by 1,300% over the past 5 years. A business writer for The Oregonian believes these investments won't mean much if Intel can't follow through with more advanced products.
They have to prove that their factories can deliver advanced chips on time, and that they can be attractive to other companies like NVIDIA that need places to make their chips.
Now, this move will make NVIDIA one of Intel's largest shareholders. It follows the federal government announcing it would take a 10% stake in Intel.
They were best friends. Best friends. They were inseparable.
An inseparable father and son at the center of tragedy in Vancouver. On Wednesday, the two were hit by a truck while walking home from a bus stop. The impact killed 28-year-old Jose Quevedo and left his 6-year-old son in critical condition. This happened in the area of Northeast 137th. There are no sidewalks there because of construction, and police say 73-year-old James Paulson got agitated with the slow traffic, drove around the traffic and hit Jose with his truck, dragging him, and then hit Joshua. Jose died at the scene. On Thursday, Vancouver police retracted a statement that said Joshua had also died, now saying he is still in the hospital with critical injuries.
He was kind, he was patient, and he was incredibly smart. He was so smart and he was so talented, and he can draw and he could do math on the top of his head. I was so envious of him because in high school he was on the football team. He was an honor roll student. He was everything I wanted to be. Truly. He still is everything I want to be because he was an amazing parent.
Police say Paulson had smoked marijuana with a vape pen earlier that morning. On Thursday, Paulson was charged with vehicular homicide, vehicular assault, reckless driving, and DUI. His bail was set at $1.5 million. Now, this week, we heard from the family of a man who died after hitting a bump in the road while riding an e-scooter. This happened back in August, and that bump caused Randy Phelps to fly off and left him with a traumatic brain injury that led to his death. Celine Stevens spoke to his wife.
Couldn't believe that a phone call just changed my life.
That phone call was from OHSU on the afternoon of August 18th, telling Stephanie DeBagno that her husband, Randy Phelps, was in the hospital.
We just rushed there, and he was in the ICU trauma. When we were in the ICU, there was 3 other people in there with injuries from scooters and 1 from an e-bike.
Phelps was not wearing a helmet when he went on an e-scooter ride. He was just a couple of minutes away from home on Southeast 52nd Avenue and Mitchell Street when witnesses say he hit this bump, flew off the scooter, and landed in the road.
Shock, disbelief. I can't believe this is happening. We had just gotten back from vacation.
Those nearby, like the owners of this restaurant, Toast, ran to try and help.
Went outside and noticed the gentleman in the street, and then it was all hands on deck to see what we could do for him.
We ran out with latex gloves and some PPE and just did everything we could to try to help the situation.
After weeks in the hospital,
Always willing to help his friends and his family and help people out.
Phelps passed away at 45 years old, leaving behind DeBagno and their 2 children.
Randy was removed from support on September 11th, and 3 people were saved from his organs.
But now the community is coming together to help the family, with Scott and Bobby Joe Allen even hosting a fundraiser at Toast next Monday to help them out financially.
We're doing 25% of all proceeds that are sold that day are going to be donated to the family, and it's not a specific hour. It's from open to close. It'll be from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Monday the 22nd.
Although numerous potholes have been reported in this area, the Portland Bureau of Transportation says they received the first report of this bump on August 29th, and it's since been scheduled for repair on Thursday, September 18th.
I'm doing okay, and I'm just happy that through this tragedy, through this horrific accident, that Randy was able to save some lives.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
And now to the Oregon coast. Police say an explosive device was found inside a public bathroom at Sunset Beach State Park near Astoria. Park staff alerted state police of a suspicious backpack in the bathroom Tuesday morning. Police bomb technicians responded and rendered the device safe. State parks did not find any other suspicious devices, leading police to believe this was an isolated incident.
It's just shocking and very unfortunate. These are very strange times. People get some very strange ideas. I don't know why anyone would want to do such a thing.
When we asked for specifics about this incident, state police told KGW they can't release more details due to the ongoing investigation. And now to immigration enforcement. ICE agents arrested 2 men in North Portland this past week. On Monday, agents detained Felipe Aguilar Gama as he left for work. Now, this doorbell video shows federal ICE agents moments before the arrest. Gama's daughter says her father moved to the U.S. from Mexico 35 years ago. She says he is undocumented, but in the process of becoming a legal citizen. She recently returned from visiting him at the ICE detention center in Tacoma.
There's a lot of people sleeping together. I've never seen my dad cry ever. And seeing that today just completely broke me. My dad has always been the strongest person I know.
On Tuesday, ICE agents also detained Rafael Arreola Caballero in North Portland. His daughter says ICE agents damaged his car while taking him into custody. He's also undocumented and moved to the U.S. from Mexico 20 years ago. On Thursday, the city of Portland issued a land use violation notice to the ICE facility on South McAdam Avenue. The city believes some detainees inside the facility were held overnight or for more than 12 hours, which is a violation of the land use conditions. Alma McCarty has the details.
Wednesday's city council meeting interrupted.
There's not a lot we can do about it.
Several in the chambers calling for the shutdown of Portland's ICE facility, halting the meeting not once, but twice.
Your conduct right now is disrupting our meeting. We have people who are here to do the business of the city tonight.
This display just hours after the mayor announced the city will issue a land use violation notice on Thursday.
This review was triggered by the federal government's breaking promises to our community regarding the detention of human beings.
Specifically, the city believes ICE violated its land use conditions 25 times in 10 months by detaining people for more than 12 hours or keeping them overnight.
This is just one step in a formal process. The outcome is not a foregone conclusion, and the federal government will be given an opportunity to respond.
Well, it's a good start in the right direction. I mean, it's progress. Any progress is good progress.
Protesters outside the facility for weeks and months reacting to this update.
We are a bit relieved, still kind of holding our breath, because everything takes a long time. And this building is not only an eyesore for the community, but it represents a lot of brutality.
They explain it's been a contentious scene between federal officers and demonstrators. And that tension's clearly visible in this interaction caught on camera Wednesday afternoon. A person over the blue line demarcating federal property is rushed by officers and then runs into traffic. We're told the person suffered minor injuries but will be okay. Meanwhile, Councilor Angelita Murillo says she'll be bringing forward 3 policies aimed at how ICE navigates in Portland. But tells me in this land use case, for now, council must remain neutral.
And I hope that this signals to Portlanders that we are going to hold everybody accountable, whether that be a local business or the federal government. The law applies equally to everybody as far as I'm concerned.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Under the city's permitting rules, a landowner or operator, in this case the federal government, has 30 days to correct the violation. Permitting and development can also start a reconsideration of a land use approval by scheduling a hearing at least 60 days after the notice. A Homeland Security spokesperson said they have taken action to address the violations and also said, quote, "Another day, another sanctuary politician attempting to prevent the brave men and women of ICE from removing the worst of the worst, including rapists, murderers, pedophiles, and gang members from the U.S. In your health news, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek said this week, if you want to get vaccinated for COVID, you can, despite guideline changes from the federal government. The West Coast Health Alliance just issued its own guidance on vaccines that expands the pool of those eligible to receive the shot. Now, under these new guidelines, pharmacists will be able to administer COVID-19 vaccinations without a prescription. The West Coast Health Alliance, comprised of Oregon, Washington, California, and Hawaii, recommend COVID boosters for young children, all kids with risk factors, women who are pregnant or planning to be pregnant, older adults, and anyone who chooses protection. Right now, the FDA is only recommending boosters to people ages 65 and up and anyone with existing health problems. Now, questions remain around when people can get vaccinated.
Again, I truly think that is days. And by days, I mean, towards the end of this week and into the beginning of next week. Whenever there's a change, it can take some time. It took some time for the 4 Western states to get together, review data, come to consensus.
Governor Kotek released a statement saying in part, quote, "The confusion created by the Trump administration for simple vaccine administration in states across the country puts people at risk. Staying safe shouldn't be hard or expensive." Now, for those who don't have insurance and want a COVID vaccine, health officials recommend checking your local community health centers and departments. The chief of staff for Portland City Councilor Candace Avalos says Avalos allocated nearly $20,000 from her office's budget to fund a trip for her and 2 other staff members to Vienna, Austria, to study the city's social housing model. Now, here's a breakdown of those costs. $6,700 were for flights, $3,900 for hotel rooms, and almost $2,000 for food each day. About $100 for transportation and $7,000 in program fees. That's just under $20,000, or just over $6,500 a person. Now, Thursday on The Story, Blair Best spoke to Councilor Jamie Dunphy, who was also on that trip, and spent about $14,000 for him and his chief of staff. That's an estimate. He defended the trip, saying flying to Vienna was a necessary hands-on experience to understand social housing. Here's part of their conversation.
It was an experience that I am already excited about, trying to figure out how we can apply to the limited dollars that we're already investing into housing to some of the most troubled parts of our community. I represent Gateway, where the Fred Meyer just closed, but that is some of the most highly dense zoned properties in the city of Portland. We can build 14 stories of housing right there, but no one ever has. What if the government came in and built something intentional next to some of the best transit in the city?
Each city councilor has an office budget of about $1.4 million and have discretion on how much to spend and on what. And now to some good news this week. 2 years ago, actor Tom Hanks told the owner of a Portland typewriter shop that he would send him a signed machine from his collection. But after months of not receiving it, he figured it wasn't going to happen until it did last week. Devin Haskins shows us the special delivery.
In this quiet shop in Southeast Portland, the room filled with these metal machines of yesteryear.
For me, it's the connection to the word.
Anthony Velopi opened Typespace 4 years ago and saw success right away.
2 weeks after I opened, Willamette Week put us in their top 100 annual best businesses of Portland issue.
On the shelf are about 25 or so typewriters to buy, with another 150 being refurbished or fixed. Every piece here has written a story.
It makes my writing more intentional because I don't have cut and paste, delete. I really have to think about what I'm putting down.
Velopi's shop attracts all sorts of customers, from collectors, first-timers, young, old, and even those from Hollywood. In 2023, actor Tom Hanks was in Portland for a book tour.
Just the nicest guy.
and stopped by.
So we just talked about typewriters, not much about his movies or things like that.
Hanks, a typewriter aficionado, stayed about an hour, bought one of the typewriters for his own use, and left.
On the way out, he said, hey, I'm going to send you an autographed typewriter out of my collection.
That was 2023.
I had kind of forgot about it altogether.
2 years later, after sending Tom's manager a message on another matter, he says they realized they forgot as well.
Said, we're going to get it out immediately.
A couple days later, a package.
I just got it in, yep.
A 1955 Rheinmetall typewriter from Germany, one from Hanks's personal collection, signed by him, as promised.
So it's going to stay at the front table here.
It's a piece of memorabilia and a piece of analog history.
People can come down and type on it. That's great. It's not hands off.
Proudly displayed, sitting front and center at Typespace. In Southeast Portland, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
So cool. Promise fulfilled there. Well, there is a new tree planting program in Portland that aims to bring more shade to parts of the city. The program's goal is to plant 10,000 trees a year in and around parts of North and Northeast Portland over the next several years. It's a nearly $2 million tree planting program funded by money that's been set aside for environmental projects in the city.
SF funds were voted on by Portlanders a number of years ago, and it's a really small percentage of large businesses' revenue that gets collected by the city to use specifically for climate resilience actions.
Volunteers will start planting trees in the next couple of weeks, and the program is set to continue through 2028. Now let's get a look at your weather.
Hello again, I'm meteorologist Chris McGinnis. The headlines shaping up like this. A good-looking Friday, a little warmer today as well. We'll keep the sunshine going into tomorrow, and then we do have some weekend rain. But hold on, it's going to be a fast-moving system here, so if you blink, you might miss it. I'll walk you through that in a second. First thing I want to do, though, is take you up to Timberline Lodge. So from 6,000 feet on Mount Hood, our camera actually pointed south towards Mount Jefferson. Usually we can see the Three Sisters off in the distance, but you really can't today, and that's because there's some wildfire smoke and haze in the sky. That rolled in yesterday from northerly winds blowing in smoke from the Olympic Peninsula fires that have been burning pretty intensely here. And the north wind will continue today, so we may see some more of that wildfire smoke in the air today. Not until tomorrow do we get enough of a wind shift where we'll scour some of that out even more so as we go into the day on Sunday. This morning, still kind of foggy at the coast. That's the live look from Lincoln City, the Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera here in Lincoln City. Usually off in the distance, you can see Cascade Head, but obviously that is obscured this morning. The fog will lift at the beach, and the Oregon coast looks gorgeous this afternoon with afternoon sun. Astoria should get up to about 69 for a daytime high today. Taking you out into the Columbia River Gorge. Toasty out towards the Dalles, 92, 88 in Hood River with a west wind kicking up 10 to 15. And as we mentioned, the trend for Southwest Washington and Northwest Oregon today will be to take yesterday's temperatures and bump them up a good 2 to 5 degrees. So case in point, Vancouver yesterday was 79. Today I've got you at 83. Battleground 82. We go down to the south. Yesterday Salem was 78. Today I've got you at 83. McMinnville at 84. And elsewhere across the region, Central Oregon getting into the mid 80s today. As we mentioned, the Oregon coast mid to upper 60s, but the morning clouds there should burn off. So a good looking day today. Let's get into the weekend and that chance of rain. Okay, we'll go out a little wider. There's our storm center chugging across the North Pacific. It actually looks a little more impressive on satellite today than it did yesterday. That's probably why the moisture totals have come up just a little bit, and I'll show you that in a second. Futurecast today shows plenty of sunshine for Northwest Oregon and Southwest Washington throughout the day today. Largely due to the warming weather today, we're probably going to draw in that marine layer a little early tomorrow morning. So this is Saturday at 6:30. Don't be surprised up in like Calex, Clark, Wahkiakum counties, Columbia County, you do see some morning cloud cover. Wouldn't be out of the question. I know our model's not specifically suggesting it, but we might see some clouds work their way into the Willamette Valley as well. Those clouds will burn off, and Saturday looks gorgeous. If you're heading to the coast, tomorrow will be a great last Saturday of summer. Of course, fall arrives on Sunday, right? Monday, excuse me. All right, here's Futurecast tomorrow night. So this front is a fast mover. I mentioned the coast will be nice during the day on Saturday, but Saturday night that front moves in. And overnight and early Sunday morning, I should say, before most folks are probably out of bed, it's going to be raining here in Portland and Vancouver. As fast as that system moves in, Futurecast tracks it out of here before 10 o'clock. on Sunday morning. Don't get too fixated on the time. I mean, there's probably a little wiggle room, an hour or two either way, but the point is we start with rain and we'll probably finish with some sunshine. Modeling likes a good 0.2 of an inch of rain and some isolated higher pockets. The trend from yesterday, the numbers have come up across the board, but the trend remains the same. Higher amounts to the north, lesser amounts to the south. And again, we think this is a pretty fast moving system. So morning showers with afternoon sunshine on Sunday. We get a little cooler though with highs in the 70s. Right back up to the upper 70s on Friday, or Monday, I should say. Fall officially arrives on Monday morning. And the rain chances for next week that were originally looking somewhat promising have gone away. It looks like a sunny and warm start to fall.
Hello, I'm Tim Gordon. With the bulk of the week in our rear view mirror, I'm sure plenty of you are looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. So if you're looking for something to do, we've certainly got you covered. Well, if you want to get a jump start on Halloween, for example, the 30th annual H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival and CthulhuCon returns to the Hollywood Theater all weekend long. From Friday through Sunday, you can catch showings of some of the most popular and creepy movies inspired by Lovecraft. There will also be a live pipe organ accompaniment going on and live performances too from the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society. And for those of you looking for something more active, the 2025 MLK Dream Run takes place this Saturday and Sunday. You can run or walk a 5, 10, or 15K to help support the businesses and community in the Seoul District. You'll also be able to enjoy food from local vendors, and there's even a raffle. To sign up for a run or learn more, head to mlkdreamrun.com. And if you're feeling snacky, well, you'll want to head to the Portland Night Market location on Southeast Alder for Snack Fest. The event Saturday and Sunday will include dozens of vendors selling everything from baked goods to burgers. It's free to get in, doors open each day at 11 a.m. And for more weekend inspiration, check out the 8 Things to Do article up each week on KGW.com.
And that is a wrap on your weekly recap. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Thanks for watching. You can catch up on the latest headlines anytime on KGW.com, your KGW app, or our YouTube channel.